Hey, what is up, second channel? It's your boy, Speed here, and today we're going to be talking about Slardar. This is a game I just played on the current 53.72% win rate hero, a 4% increase since the patch. We're going to be watching some Slardar here. I think this hero is very strong. I believe it's better than ever, and honestly, a large part of that comes down to the fact that if you can win your lane, you're going to get off to a good start. With the flag bearer creeps being really strong, this is key. On top of that, Slardar has had a regen issue in the past, but with flag bearer creeps giving you 3 HP regen when they're near you, that's not nearly as bad, and Slardar's sustained damage is very, very strong. It's easy to last hit, and yeah, I'm gonna show you this game. I was so happy with this game, and I was like, I have to share this with you guys. I went for a pretty standard build, a pretty early wand. I didn't have to go this wand. It was kind of for slot issues. Into a gloves of haste, after that boots, after boots, treads, after treads, mask of madness, into blink. I was playing very high tempo with this game. I felt like I had heroes that could synergize with my blink. Otherwise, some games I'd go BKB. I decided to go blink this game. It worked out. After that, we decided to go BKB, and from the BKB, the game... Actually, I bought Shard and then a Manta. The Manta was a bit of a meme, but it's decent against Batrider, but it was a bit of a meme. Either way, let's hop into it and talk about a little bit of Slardar. And I absolutely recommend playing this hero in most roles, core roles. I don't recommend 5 Slardar. It's not that bad, actually, but it's not horrible, because this hero's base stats are so good. Like 6 armor, 300 movement speed, 62 damage. It's pretty easy to lane, like even as a support. You definitely can have a lot of impact, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Either way, first thing to ship out, just keep this in mind, 3 tangos right off the bat. Right off the bat, we get the tangos. We're going to skill our W up. Basically, this ability just lets you secure the range creep conveniently. Honestly, Bash is fine, as it also helps you secure the range creep. Big thing to keep in mind, Bash does double damage to creeps, so it is actually very, very good for farming and securing CS. However, the W tends to be better for pressuring, just because it also slows attack speed and movement speed when you hit them with it. So it's a much better trading ability overall early on. It's just a lot more reliable in the lane. So either way, early laning stage, you can't really do too much. I'm going to be mostly playing passive, playing for CS. Just really make sure you're getting good CS. Your hero scales as the lane progresses, like you're going to dominate later on. The only time I generally recommend pressuring early on into the waves is if they run through the wave. Like even here, me hitting Morphling is a bit psychotic, I will admit. It's probably even bad. It is a Morphling, which is not a great hero at level 1, so that was kind of my justification for it. But most matchups, that's just straight up a bad idea. You're not that strong yet. However, you have good base damage, so you can play for these denies and these CS very, very easily. You'll see right off the bat, 11-1. I've missed maybe 1 CS at this point. I'm not sure. Maybe more. Maybe I'm going crazy. But this is going to snowball your net worth, right? Like, you can create differences so freaking quickly just by having good creep score. And I cannot stress that enough. So don't get distracted with pressure too much. Focus on the CS, especially in this patch, with flag bearers eventually coming into play. That sentiment of focusing on the creeps and less on the heroes is very important, as if you actually do that properly for the first 3 to 5 minutes of the game, you will have, and I honestly think even pros are starting to pick up onto this idea, or even Heimdall players at least. I mean, pros at least, and Heimdall players as well. This idea of just dominating the early levels. Because even now with this flag bearer next to me, I have 3 HP regen. So does Morphling, of course. And so I could actually try to kill his flag bearer fast. But basically, you're not really going to get kicked out of the lane. Like, most lanes can't really pressure you out in this meta. It's pretty hard. It's not impossible, but it's much harder to actually bully the enemy out due to the flag bearers. So really keep that in mind when you're laning. Focus on the CS. That's the last time I'm going to say it. I just wanted to make it a main core tenet of this video because I really still think people just kind of don't get it. After that, we're going to be able to get the lane back, and this is where things are going to look to really snowball. I don't want too much of a creep disadvantage, so I even out the creep aggro. And then from there, with my bash charges, I'm going to look to pressure as much as I can. When I realize he's not going for the deny, I'm going to hit him, but immediately go back to CSing. I even missed a couple creeps, which kind of wasn't worth it. But okay, forced him to nuke there. And at this point, I wanted to let the lane not push in too hard, so I didn't want to... I actually auto-attack a bit here. I think I had the intent of pressuring Morph. as I get another deny on him. And overall, just beating him on CS. He does have 19, which is pretty good. He's caught up. He's done a great job. This guy's very, very good at CSing. He's a rank 50 player. Definitely a very, very strong player. In terms of skill build, you're going to have 1-1-2 every single game. There's really no exception to this. There's no other build that's good. You just go this every game. On top of that, you're going to have a lot of kill potential in certain lanes. Like this lane, you're not going to really see me doing too much early on. And it's because Morphling has really high armor. And Zeus just, especially with this scale build, just doesn't do anything. So you're kind of just vibing. And now finally we've kind of hit the strong timing of Slardar. This boots plus gloves of haste is really when your hero becomes very hard to lane against. It's just such consistent damage and bashes with the bonus attack speed. And you'll see I can kind of just completely ignore the wave at this point. I don't mind missing a couple of creeps because even without my Q active, I just bully the heck out of this guy, right? Bash comes out. And it might not seem favorable, but I'm forcing him to shift all the way to strength, which is horrible for his hero, right? He literally did 0 damage to that creep. I got the deny. And at this point, it actually ends up leading into him dying to the Zeus, which was pretty funny. I think he shifts down in a moment. Yeah, he shifts down in a moment. He forgets about the Zeus and just dies. And it really doesn't take a lot to snowball the lane. Like, I don't even think Slardar is necessarily good against Morphling, but because of my really good last hits and Zeus not sapping too much XP, even though I wouldn't really mind if he sapped a lot, like, if he was playing something like Hoodwink or Snapfire, I wouldn't care. Like, if he tried to pressure with me and snapped XP, I'd be chilling with that. But once you hit level 6, you go crazy. It's very simple. If you have these items, like these exact items, please buy a wand like every game. It's the best skirmish item, and your hero wants to skirmish. So for some really stupid reason, this guy decides to go on me. And now, one of the biggest buffs to Slardar is that his ulti leaves a trail of water behind whoever you ulti for 8 seconds, which basically means you get the bonus river movement speed of 15%. So your movement speed goes through the roof when chasing people, and heroes that would have typically gotten away pretty easily just die as I run down the Rubik. No problem. I just run down the Rubik. On top of that, the river gives you HP regen. So, like, your hero, when it comes to chasing, is so freaking good compared to what it used to be. Like, it's crazy. You just get a 15% bonus movement speed when you ulti someone, and you get bonus HP regen just for ultiing someone if you're in their river, right? It's, like, extremely valued. So this hero kind of just got a lot of these, like, minor buffs that giga add up. Like, they giga add up. On top of that, I think this meta of flag bearer creeps and the lane mattering more than ever benefits this hero in most matchups. Obviously, if he's laning against something like Monkey King Dazzle, he might have a hard time, and then this hero is going to be pretty bad. I don't think Slardar from behind is very good. It's generally a hero that needs a good lane. But yeah, now I'm level 7 when Morphling's 5. I have my component of my Mask of Mana shipping out already. My CS is the highest in the game, and look how fast you jungle. As long as you amp the creeps, which cost like no mana, you can just completely wipe through jungle camps. As I considered running at Morphling here, I didn't really need to. I denied up like 3 of his creeps, so I was chilling. And one thing I even want you guys to keep in mind is, like, it's 9 minutes in here, and I'm really not pressured to make a rotation. You should not get baited. If you want to win the game, like, your game plan should be pretty straightforward. Don't TP unless there's a very clear set of, like, a double kill. There's got to be a double kill or something like that. Otherwise, it's just not worth it. If I leave this Rubik alone and I let him play every single wave, he's going to hit level 6. You know how different this hero is between level 4 and level 6? It's wildly different. So what a lot of players do wrong, at least in my opinion, what they do wrong is they just shove in this wave no matter what. I can't dive the Rubik. I'll just die to a Batrider TP. I know I will. This guy's giga farming and he has bots. So I know I'm going to die to a Batrider if I extend too far. I die later on too. I hate Batrider so much. It's my least favorite hero to play against right now, by far. But I deny up the entire wave from the Rubik, and with one creep camp, I farmed one large camp. Just keep this in mind. I have 1 kill. I have an assist, but I have 1 kill, and then just really good lane last hits, 66 lane last hits, 2 creeps from medium camps, and my net worth is way higher than everyone else. Way higher than everyone else. The laning stage and having control of the wave is the most important thing in this meta by a long shot. It's been the most important thing for a while, but in this meta, it's particularly brutal, right? It's if you don't have lane control, how far you'll fall behind your enemy. It's horrible, as I think this is where I died at Batrider, unfortunately. I should have honestly not played up. I hit the tower because I had a cart, but I shouldn't have. This hero... Whatever. From there, I decided to make a rotation on the Timber. Lucky might have killed him without me, but I don't know. My amp definitely secured the kill a bit early. And the nice thing about rotating like this is your hero jungles really easily. So even if you don't get the kill, if you have this Mask of Madness and the gank fails, obviously, once again, taking lane creeps is better. So you want to take lane creeps, but if you do fail a rotation, and, I just felt like I could give my Willow farm, I identified as well. I told this guy specifically, please go bottom. He was level 4, minute 12. I'm like, oh, please, get your levels, be useful. This is my mid laner, by the way. This is their mid laner. This game, I guess we were 4K ahead because my Monkey King dominated and I dominated, so shout out Monkey King for putting in a shift this game. He's got a 12-minute battle period. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, now we're gonna see a really big fight pop out. And Slardar early game in the river. Don't fight Slardar in the river. Don't fight Slardar in the river. I should have Tumblr's toy here. A bit of a mistake, but this Timber Saw is squishy as shit. I got press the attack. Look at that. Wait, I'm gonna play it. This is one-time speed. Hand off the keyboard. One-time speed fight. Look at this Timber Saw. Yes, this guy is poor. Keep that in mind. But even if he was rich, he'd have like a Hood of Defiance. It wouldn't change much here. You just get shredded. And the thing is, I say don't fight him in the river, but if you amp someone, you're in the river. Oh, I love the train that's right next to my house. Oh, it's great. And at this point, I was kind of just getting active on the map. We got the little river going on here as well. You see a little river action. And what's cool about the river as well is eventually it brings you up to 8 HP regen if you're in it, 40% movement speed, and 4 armor. Just by ulting someone and turning on sprint, you get all of these things. My minus armor for Mask of Madness is only 4 right now because of the river. I also have 14 HP regen. This hero is so much better than what it used to be. It's actually crazy. I'm a fan of Slardar. I think it can... The only thing is you have to be careful is, like, if you have a bad game, the hero is going to feel underwhelming. If you don't stick to what I'm telling you and you mess up and you play too much for kills early on, you're gonna feel shit. Like, this hero without items, it doesn't feel great. Like, it really doesn't. You want to snowball. As you see, as the fight ended there, I even TP'd top. I get smoked out of top, which I thought was a good play. It helps us play pretty high tempo. But I get my blink. I think I was waiting to get it off the courier. Oh, this is really unfortunate. Unfortunately, yeah, I should have made slots for it, because we would have killed Bat here if I had made slots. We 100% would have killed him. 100% would have killed him. Fortunately, I was able to tumbler toy out of the way. Oh, yeah, he dies anyway. Look at this damage. Look at this damage. Doosh, doosh, doosh. Ooh. Doosh, doosh, doosh. Doosh. I should make sound effects for Dota, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, from there, if you get ahead, though, I get a triple kill in the mid lane, amp onto the Timber. That's an ultra kill, 15 minutes into the jungle camps. And look at jungle camps. Really cool part about the hero as well. If you amp these jungle creeps, your hero, like, this is why this hero is fine as a carry. Unironic. It used to be a carry back in the day, but it's even better as a carry now because the bash does double damage to the creeps. I killed that Wild Wing from like 3/4 HP. Just one-shot it. Decided to smoke up here, wanted to catch a Batrider. We ended up, getting him on a long ramp. Smoking with my +1 support. Typically, you don't need a +1 to kill every hero, but you need a +1 to kill most heroes that have a defensive tool. But yeah, we find the Batrider. He gets evaporated. Amp damage early game is just something else. It's 15 armor. It's 10 armor. I'm level 12. It's 15 armor right now. It's so much early game. 10 armor for most heroes early game is most of their armor, if not all of their armor. And here I told my team, I really communicated to them. I'm like, come mid. We're like so far ahead. Just come mid. If the enemy team tries to show up, they're going to feed. They're going to get cocky for some reason. I had my gut feeling here. I'm like, they're going to get cocky. They like chopped down the monkey tree, but they didn't even have the follow-up damage because they were dead. And they feed a couple more kills. And then I call Rosh, and Slardar when he gets ahead, it's just a menace because you Rosh, you dive, you chase, you jungle. Like, your hero is such a snowball, like, menace. If you get ahead on this hero and you make the right calls, like, you get a little bit of synergy going. By the way, I bought one of the smokes, so don't think like, oh, my supports never buy smoke. But just buy the smokes. Look at this damage. Oof. do keep in mind you still have to kite out a little bit. Like, your hero dies to nukes early game. It's kind of about getting clean jumps. You really don't want to just, like, sprint into 4 or 5 heroes. You shouldn't really just run into the middle of the fight. Like, a lot of people are going to play Slardar, and the game's not even going to look remotely like this. They're going to be like, this hero sucks. And it's because they're running into the middle of the fight with no BKB. And it's just like, of course, right? Like, for instance, here, I go sicko mode, and this is not what you want to do. I'm going to literally blink for vision. You never want to do this. But I have Aegis, my team's way ahead, so situationally, I think it can be okay for that reason. I kind of bait them out really hard as well. They, like, commit extremely hard on me. And as a result, we were able to basically wipe them again. So I felt that this was a pretty okay use of Aegis. More than an okay use of Aegis as we find Timber on the back end. Morphling dies as well to a Zeus nuke. And we kill them all. And I'm not going to say that's the end of this game, but that's pretty close to the end of this game. Look at the net worth, 13k lead. And this is with my mid laner getting crushed. I will say, I didn't know my safe laner was dumping on the game so hard. So shout out, Italiano. You put in a clinic this game. And now it's the BKB timing. From here, you just solo kill some Batrider hero. You go in. Unfortunately, I didn't have a bash prepped, so it was a little bit clunky, but this guy doesn't threaten me whatsoever now, so we just chase him down, get that kill off the Rubik, finish him off. Little... Oh my god, press the attack is insane. Press the attack Mask of Madness on Slardar is crazy. I hit so hard, it's actually nuts. And if there's any hero that's good at chasing kills around the map, it's Slardar, you know? You can actually justify it on this hero because you have 0 cooldowns. Like, literally, in terms of your talents, you take Guardian Sprint cooldown. 100% of the time, you take Guardian Sprint cooldown. The other talent is so bad. And then, honestly, you can take Bash of the Deep damage. It is good. Helps you farm. Helps you kill people. But I think health is just the overall better talent. You know, I could have taken bash damage this game because of how far ahead I am, but I think the health is just in general the safer of the two talents. I think it's overall just better, so I'd recommend that. At 20, you take the Corrosive Haze armor. It's just better. At level 25, honestly, this one depends. I think Corrosive Haze Undispellable generally is better because there's a lot of dispels late game, and so having it undispellable is obviously good. It's particularly good against like Invis heroes that buy BKB and Manta. Like something like Ricky or Bounty Hunter or Weaver, they purge Corrosive Haze like crazy. They usually itemize for that. They can't, and so it hard counters those heroes. It's good against every hero, but it hard counters those heroes in particular. On top of that, the Slithering Crush cooldown, bringing it to a 4-second cooldown, is really, really good. It is. Like, you're just going to be bashing like crazy and stunning like crazy. It is really good. So I would say both talents can be justified. Undispellable is generally better, though, I would say. All right, we'll end off the video on a clip of me insta-killing a Rubik. I think he couldn't have even gotten anything off. Yeah. So if you don't know what the shard does, I love the shard. I buy the shard most games. I would recommend buying it most games. When you stun them with your W, it applies your ulti. On top of that, it increases the radius, which is decent. Like, it's a decent radius increase. It does matter. But the biggest thing is, like, when you stun them, usually you have to ult, and that cancels an auto attack. And you might be like, oh, it's 1 auto attack. It's like 2 auto attacks with Mask of Madness, and it really is a big, big deal. Like, you'll see here, he would potentially get liftoff if I don't have this, right? Because I would have to, like, put my hand up, like, to amp him. But instead, I can just instantly hit him. Because the stun is such a short duration. It's a 1-second stun. It's literally nothing. And so this talent helps you kind of just follow up that stun with a bash way more effective without them being able to get off BKB or anything. And your first hit is just going to do way more damage. It's really nice. On top of that, it makes your blink initiation with teammates way faster too. Like, let's say you blink on someone with a TA, you're instantly going to have that haze up, and that can be easily the difference between killing someone or not. If the first meld hit or like a gauze strength hit is corrosive hazed, where usually it wouldn't be, it's insane. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.